Hey, it's me. How's it going? I've had this video uploaded and ready for a couple of days now. I was just waiting on the thumbnail, but now I have to re-upload it and add this bit on because you guys made us hit 20k. Dicks. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm part of a small percentage of British people that haven't watched Harry Potter. Please don't come after me in the comments because I didn't jizz myself at the mention of a spell or something. Thanks to these guys for the suggestion. Load up Hogwarts Legacy. Start a new... Oh, it's already started. Welcome to the middle of the street where you, generic white male protagonist, are packing your bags to go to Hogwarts School of Crafts and Wizards or some bullshit. Don't know how far you're gonna get on a carriage with no horses in front of it. Bit of backstory. You're enrolling at Hogwarts as a 5th year student, so our good friend Professor Figtree had to teach you 4 years worth of wizardness to get you up to speed. I don't know why they didn't just make you a first year. I assume it's because you'd be a lot older than the other kids. Perhaps nursery is a forbidden art at Hogwarts. Figtree asks his mate George to join us on the trip to Hogwarts because they have secrets to discuss. They're like,
this goblin guy Ranrock is rather evil. Also, your dead wife gave me this thing.
Oh, you're right, this certainly is a thing.
Should it be glowing?
It's not glowing. Maybe you should get some glasses like that one Harry Potter kid.
Oh wait, I think this is before that. They had cars and shit.
Oh my god, how did you do that?
While you're all chatting, you look out the window and see a wing or something. Yeah, that's fine. Just ignore it. I'm sure it's nothing important. It was very important. Figtree tells you to jump out of what's left of the carriage, and you both grab that key from the box, which teleports you away because magic, I guess. The key took you to some cave in the Scottish Highlands where there's a ruin, and inside the ruin you find a mirror slash window slash ice thing. Figtree can't see it, but you can, so you give it a high five, and boom, you're in a place. Gringotts Wizarding Bank specifically. This goblin assumes you're going to Vault 12, which you've never heard of, but Figtree is like,
oh yes, of course, Vault 12, that's my favorite of the vaults.
And the goblin takes you to the vault and closes the door behind you. Using Revelio, which is a reveal spell for all you non-wizarders, you find a door with a symbol on it like the one on the key and the mirror window thing, and high-fiving it takes you into a dark room. Inside this room you go through some tests, basically just cast some spells at these knights who are beefing with you until you find a statue of that symbol, but it turns into a gateway to a bird bath with a floating bottle. Figtree is like,
we must sniff the water.
This shows a memory of 2 wizards building the bird bath room. They're trying to protect powerful knowledge from people who can't see ancient magic. Side note, you and this weird hat man can both see ancient magic, making you special as fuck. Suddenly there's an ugly dwarf. This is Ranrock, that evil goblin that George spoke about. He wants whatever we got from this place. Well, the memory said we'd get knowledge, but I'm just as clueless as before we arrived. Figtree and Rancock then have a fight. To be fair, I'd hardly call it a fight. Figtree gets fucked. Luckily, the building is like,
intruder alert.
And you're able to escape through another magical gateway thing, conveniently landing within spitting distance of Hogwarts, just in time for the sorting ceremony where you get put into one of 4 houses. Given that my knowledge of the Harry Potter universe is about as extensive as my knowledge of the female gender, I don't know which one's good or not. I got into Hufflepuff. I'm sure you Harry Potter nerds will be excited to tell me that means I'm a grade A twat. After the ceremony, Professor Weasley shows you to your dorm and gives you a tutorial. She's like, take this!
What is it?
It's a fucking book, mate. Given that this is a school, that means you need to attend classes. I thought I'd left this behind in my adult years. In these classes, you learn the spells Levioso and Accio, as well as make some new friends. Hello, I'm Sebastian. It's a pleasure to meet... One of your friends, Natsai, takes you to the nearby village Hogsmeade because in case you forgot, most of your luggage is in a pile of dragon shit right now. So you have to get some replacements. Here you get a new wand and some items and stuff. I don't know. Some trolls randomly attack the village. They're supposed to be super strong, but you're the main character. While walking through Hogsmeade, you spot a man wearing his top hat very suspiciously and follow him to find out that he's working with Rancock. This is Victor Rookwood. He was supposed to kidnap us while the trolls were destroying the village. Obviously, he wasn't expecting you to send the troll to Hogwarts Legacy 2. While this is all very scary, you know what isn't scary? Butterbeer. Let's get a pint. It doesn't take long for Rookwood to find you. You must have the look of an alcoholic. He's like,
I just want a quick word with you.
And the landlord, Sirona, is like, no you fucking don't. There must be some unspoken rule about interrupting someone with a butterbeer because the whole pub gets ready to kill him and he runs away. Back in Hogwarts, you get a letter off Figtree. He's figured some shit out. Apparently there was a locket in the vault. I really don't remember this. I just remember us sniffing bird bath water. Figtree got a map of Hogwarts from the locket and you could see droplets of ancient magic around the restricted section of the library, meaning your next destination is that place, but without Figtree because the headmaster takes him away, so you go with Sebastian instead. Unsurprisingly, he's curious about your entanglement with Rancock and Fuckwood, but you just make up some bullshit. Oh, I don't know, they must have had the wrong guy. I guess you can't trust him yet. Point is, you go to the restricted section, clues in the name, it's restricted, so you have to sneak through, which works until you're caught by Peeves, a resident snitch, and Sebastian chases after him, leaving you to find another ancient magic doorway. It's the same as the place you and Figtree found, pretty much. Just do some puzzles, kill some knights, and find a book, as well as another bird bath, which shows Weird Hat Man and his friends making it rain on some poor people. That sounds like they're just throwing money at them. No, they actually make it rain and save them from a drought. A little girl from that village also happens to have the ancient magic spectacles on like you and starts attending Hogwarts. Sebastian then gets in trouble for sneaking around but doesn't snitch on you, and you return to Figtree with the book. It's missing a few pages, but he says he'll study it while he's in London, and you go to find the missing pages, but first you need to attend some of your classes. Remember, you're a student, first being herbology and oh my god. Oh. Hey, put your wand back in your trousers, you dirty bastard. Natsai wants to meet up afterwards to talk about why Fuckwood wants a piece of you. I don't remember knowing these kids long enough to be telling them your life story, but you tell her everything. Sebastian and Natsai both have their own sort of ulterior motive for being friends with you, not like in a bad way, but basically Sebastian has a sister who's cursed by Rancock's goblins, and he's trying to find a cure, and Natsai wants to stop some poachers working with Fuckwood, so they want to help you because it helps them, if that makes sense. Now, missing pages. It just so happens a painting wants to talk to you about something related to that. Painting, you wanted to speak with me.
Ah, hello, my name is Eldritch Diggory. My niece has a murder case that never got solved.
I see. Is this your attempt at small talk?
No, it has something to do with the missing pages you're looking for.
Wait, how did you know about the missing pages?
You see us paintings here and see all sorts of things across the castle.
Surely you don't see everything.
Yes, that includes you tugging yourself over your lesson with Professor Garlic. Fuck's sake. Yes, that includes you tugging yourself over your lesson with Professor Garlic.
Hey, keep it down. We're in the common room.
Don't worry, I do the same thing.
Yeah, thanks, Sebastian. You speak to his niece about the murder. A guy called Richard was trying to pull a girl by creating some puzzle for her to solve. In my limited female experience, even I know that's not the way to see some boobs. He was waiting for her to solve his puzzles when he disappeared. Everyone thought Anne murdered him, which is understandable. The date was boring as fuck. Probably I'd have killed him too. The painting's niece takes you to Azkaban, where she was imprisoned.
Expecto Patronum!
You may feel a wave of despair pass over you after seeing those dementors. Try not to worry about it. Oh no, that's just my existence. It's been a tough year. Anne has lost it, but she gives you the location of Richard's first puzzle. When you complete it, Richard is waiting outside for you. He doesn't remember how he died, but does remember the location and takes you to a random bird bath in the forest. What is it with the wizarding world and their excessive need for bird baths? Whispering a secret password to the bird bath opens up a gateway, then Rancock's goons show up because you're hiding something. Only thing you'll be hiding is their bodies. After fighting your way through enough spiders to make the average Australian feel at home and solving some puzzles, you go across a bridge to find Richard's body. They should get like a janitor in this place and clean this shit up. On his body, there's the missing pages. Anne is still being wrongfully imprisoned for his murder, but that's not our problem now. We got what we came for. You fight some more knights like the other ancienty places you've been and find another doorway, and you guessed it, another bird bath. Now I'm joking. You actually find a big room. Whoa. Some paintings appear, and oh my god, Weird Hat Man from the bird baths. He's actually called Percival Rackham.
Young wizard, you found a book filled with all our secrets that you must never let anyone else see. Please, place the book on the pedestal.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to show that to anyone?
Why, of course. The knowledge in that book is to be seen only by those who possess our ability.
So I shouldn't have given it to my professor who's taken it to London with him?
This is the shit I have to deal with.
You've got to wait until Fig Tree comes back from London with the book before you can speak to Percival. In the meantime, you learn to fly on a broom. It's pretty cool. Now you can spy on Professor Garlic through a window. And Professor Weasley takes you to the Room of Requirement. It's basically just a room that senses your desires and changes to fit those desires.
Ah, the room is changing. Wait, is that Professor Garlic?
Sebastian also shows you a secret room called the Undercroft and teaches you the spell Confringo. It's just throwable fire. After your excursions with Sebastian, you feel it's okay to trust him with your Rancock Fuckwood situation. Finally, Fig Tree has returned. You take him to the map chamber. That's the big room with Weird Hat Man. Fig Tree places the book on the pedestal, revealing a very difficult to read map of the world. Hey, Weird Hat Man, I'm back. I brought my friend.
What? You weren't supposed to bring your friend? There's so many secrets down here.
Oh, my bad. Anyway, this is Fig Tree.
Hello?
Weird Hat Man tells you about 4 trials that prove whether or not you're worthy to get the secret knowledge and power. Basically, all the shit you've done to get this far means fuck all. It properly starts now. The 4 people we've been seeing in the bird baths up until now are called Keepers because they keep fucking asking me to do shit for them. Oh wait, that's the wrong script. They're called Keepers because they've been tasked with keeping a powerful knowledge secret from the world. The difficult to read map shows you the location of each trial, the first being up in a tower. When you arrive, however, Rancock's goons are already there. But how did they know of this secretive location? I don't know. At the top of the tower, Weird Hat Man is waiting and tells you to go do your first trial. I was expecting the trials to test various parts of your character to try and gauge whether or not you're worthy enough to wield the ancient magical, but it's more just a test to see how well you can murk knights and solve puzzles. Eventually you find another bird bath, which gives you a bit of magic goo and... The memory shows Weird Hat Man training that young girl to use ancient magic. She's called Isadora Morganach, by the way. She's sad that her dad is sad because her brother is dead and would like to take his pain away. After that, the memory shows her being a professor at Hogwarts. Now back to the map chamber. With the first trial complete, you were introduced to Weird Hat Man's friend, Weird Fat Man. He's actually called Charles Rookwood. For those of you a bit behind the curve, yes, he has the same name as Fuckwood, probably his relative or some bullshit. When he hears about Rancock, he decides to halt the trials because we didn't give him enough of a head start. Whatever, you go to Beast class and meet a hippogriff called Highwing. Never understood why why they were called hippogriffs. I'm not seeing a fat water mammal in its design. Serona at the pub from that one time was speaking to a goblin once, so you go over to her to ask if he'd be willing to help us with betraying his entire race. This guy Lodgok is surprisingly cooperative, especially considering him and Rancok used to be mates. If you get him a relic, he'll present it to Rancok and repair their friendship and be a spy for you, so you steal the relic off some thieves and go to work on your own friendship with Sebastian. He takes you to his hometown to see his cursed sister, and after a brief introduction to his family that functions about as well as a deaf person's alarm clock, you go investigate the site of his sister's cursing, hoping to find some clues on what happened. There's still some of Rancok's goons there, and after ending their careers under Rancok, you begin your investigation where you learn that this village was the same place that you saw in the bird bath, and the estate where Rancok's goons were rummaging around is Isadora's house. If you're confused about anything that's happened up until now, I'll let Sebastian explain it for you.
See if I've got this straight. You have Ranrock and Rookwood after you because of something you found at Gringotts where you ended up via a port key. You can see traces of an ancient magic that you think Ranrock is trying to harness. And now you've been witnessing memories left by keepers. This house belonged to a Hogwarts professor who was one of these non-Quidditch keepers hundreds of years ago.
You continue your search to find Isadora's basement. There's whips and leather suits. It's terrifying. I'm joking. There's some notes explaining her dissatisfaction with the other keepers and their refusal to use their power to take away people's pain. Definitely the writings of someone in a good state of mind. You also find the Undercroft, but that's at Hogwarts behind a clock door. Yeah, it's one of those special window mirror things. You can get to the Undercroft from here, and doing so reveals, what are the names of these things? There's some in God of War as well. It's like a painting's house. There's a note in it that you recognize as the Keeper's thing, but we'll deal with that later. To kill some time, you go to astronomy class and meet Amit, who's an astronomer. Honestly, I wouldn't have mentioned this kid if he wasn't relevant to the story in a bit. Then Natsai has found some poacher people who have a letter, and if you can retrieve the letter, you can give it to the police, and they can do something, I guess. You break into a castle where you see the poachers have captured Highwing, so on top of getting the letter, you save Highwing and ride him into the night like you're some kind of main character. Who do you think you are? The second trial is ready. Finally. Fucking took you long enough. Weird Fat Man tells you the next trial is at his gaff. He's like, there's also a great source of power there. You should probably go sort that out. I've heard some goblins are around there recently. Oh no, that's terrible. I do wish we had the luxury of time, but you must go quickly now. Well, we would have had the luxury of time if someone hadn't decided to halt the trials for no reason. What was that? Oh, nothing. You and Figtree go to Rookwood Castle to deal with Fuckwood and Rancok's goons. Confringo. Levioso. Anyone else notice that all these spells just sound like someone who thinks they can speak Italian? It's a me, Confringo. Inside the castle, there's a strange magical thing, and you find Weird Hatman's painting, who unlocks the second trial. It's no different from the first one: puzzles, knights, magic goo, and bird baths. In the memories, you see Isadora performing her removal of pain to the rest of the keepers by removing her dad's pain. Even though it works, Weird Hatman is like, I don't know about this newfangled magic. They didn't do this back in my day. Classic boomer behavior. You go to speak to the paintings, and with the second trial complete, you meet the third keeper, Neve Fitzgerald. To keep within the theme of giving these guys shit names, we shall call her Weird Hair Woman. The game devs need to pad the story out a bit more, so spending £50 on this game seems slightly more reasonable, so the trial isn't ready yet. In the meantime, you attend more classes. You might be an ancient magic wielder with special powers, but you've yet to find a spell that can protect you against detention. Then you help some girl save a dragon, meet up with Lodgok because his attempt at bribing Rancok to be friends with him again didn't work. Luckily, he has another idea and asks you to go to a mine somewhere. He said you should bring someone who can speak gobbledygook. I'm sure you Harry Potter fans are creaming your pants at the mention of this, but being the Harry Potter virgin I am, I thought he was taking the piss. Remember our meet? Yeah, he speaks gobbledygook and comes with you to the mine. Lodgok decides now is a good time to expositionize some shit for you. Rancok's ancestor Bragbor built some magical repositories for some wizards. We actually saw one of these when heading for the second trial. Rancok can use these things to get more power. That's why he was able to absolutely rock Figtree back in Gringotts. Bragbor's journal mentioned each of the keepers and Isadora, which is why Rancok's goons were waiting for you at each of the trials. It's probably important to mention that the goblins hate wizards because you're all kind of racist. Anyway, you and Amit go into the mines to find some plans. Rancok is building big drills to dig for those magical repositories. You might be wondering why Lodgok is so eager to help us with all this, and it's because he met a girl that didn't immediately shout racial slurs at him. If only all racism was solved this easily. The girl turned out to be Figtree's wife. She was investigating the strange container you found at the start. Lodgok then goes to make amends with Rancok, and you go find Sebastian. If you remember, there was a picture in the painting's house, and Sebastian somehow knew exactly where that was. There's a mine, Rancok's goons, and more notes from Isadora describing her descent into painkilling. She's trying so hard to be a pack of paracetamol right now. You find another piece of the painting's house, and of course a mirror window thing that takes you back to the Undercroft. The picture you found literally looks like it could be anywhere in the world. Surely Sebastian won't know where it is.
I know that coast.
It's the location of another mine that Rancok has taken over. You say you're going to speak to Lodgok to try and get ahead of his plans, to which Sebastian responds with racism. I don't think he likes goblins. This leads to a sort of argument. You might as well be a married couple at this point because you give each other the silent treatment like one of you stacked the dishwasher the wrong way. Now you can do the third trial. Weird hair woman was previously a headmistress at Hogwarts, meaning the next trial is in the headmaster's chamber. Obviously you can't just walk in there, so this calls for a disguise potion that Fig Tree just happens to have on him, even though these disguise potions take a long time to make and require the person's DNA. So I don't know what he was planning to do, looking like the headmaster. Oh, I just realized you could make one for Professor Garlic. After downing the potion like it's a bottle of Professor Garlic's bath was, you now look and sound like the headmaster, and you can access the trial as well as do some other things on the way.
Hello, headmaster. I was wondering if you'd give me a moment of your time.
Sorry, can't talk right now. I have an aggressive need to masturbate.
Professor Black, have you ever considered playing Quidditch?
The only balls I'll be playing with at this current time are my own, Madam Kagawa.
Ah, Headmaster, I've been meaning to talk to you about the new student's strange obsession with Professor Garlic.
Doesn't everyone though? Have you not seen the TikTok videos, Professor Weasley? Eventually you reach the headmaster's office where weird hair woman is waiting. She tells you to read a book that eats you for some reason, and now you look like you belong in a manga. Credit where credit's due, all the trials up until now have just been copy and paste sections that look the same, so to have to fight the literal Grim Reaper and his boys while looking like you've just jumped out of a GCSE art project is a nice change of pace. Anyway, you find a cloak that makes you harder to notice than the shy kid at your school, and a fancy one that makes you OP as fuck. Then weird hair woman pretends to be dead and scares the shit out of you. I feel like this requires the Undertaker's music. I was hoping that would be funnier in the video. I don't think it was. She takes you to a bird bath. You know what happens here. Isadora's talking about storing the pain she's been taking from people before non-consensually stealing weird hair woman's pain. Listen, I don't know what time frame this takes place in. It's probably like the 1500s, but in the 2000s you are so getting cancelled, Isadora. Apparently her removing pain and sniffing on it makes her more powerful. I've seen a similar phenomenon with Florida people and coke. You go back to the map chamber once again and meet the fourth and final keeper, San Bakar. Much like the previous keepers, he insists on making you wait because he isn't sure you're ready to learn the secret knowledge. Swear that was the point of the trials, to assess whether or not you're worthy. I see now why this has become such a big problem. These guys are idiots. Sebastian reaches out to apologize and all that bollocks. He's definitely just realized that without your ancient magic, there's no chance of him curing his sister. Anyway, you meet him along the southern coast. I actually quite like Sebastian up until now, but even after apologizing, he's like, those keepers don't trust you, or you don't care enough about my sister to ask them how to cure her. I'm not gonna lie, Sebastian, I met her like a day ago. Of course I don't care about her. I'm just nice enough to help you out, so please shut the fuck up. I don't know what's worse, fighting Rancoc's goons or fighting the urge to Avada Kedavra Sebastian like he's the main villain. Exploring the area leads to more notes from Isadora. You get the final picture for the painting's house, which reveals a bird bath, which shows Isadora speaking to Bragbort about storing the leftover magic from her pain killing. Of course, Sebastian sees her taking away the pain and is like, oh my god, we can cure Anne. Acting like this isn't the reason we're dealing with an angry goblin with anime powers. You've yet to receive word off the keepers, so decide to track down Lodcock, who went to investigate a mine containing one of Rancoc's drills. While you don't find Lodcock, you do come across one of the drills, which you promptly destroy. I don't think Rancocc was too happy about you destroying it though, and confronts you.
Do you know how much that shit cost? I had to sell my left bollock for that one.
I found a little rat sniffing around outside. Even now I was expecting Lodcock to betray us. Perhaps it's the racism inside me, but he's actually been hiding the location of the final repository from Rancocc, a betrayal that he takes very well. The mine begins to collapse and you manage to escape. Unfortunately, Rancocc now knows where the final repository is, so you run back to tell the keepers what's happened. After learning that the angry goblin is about to get his crusty fingers on whatever it is they're hiding, they finally let you do the fourth trial. Listen, I don't want to be that guy, but this could have been done at least a few days ago.
But we must test the individual before giving them access to the secret knowledge.
So when were you planning on testing Rancocc? Because he's got the secret knowledge.
Fair point.
Weird Hatman gives you the location of the final trial. This knowledge and power that they've spoken of is incredibly important, so you can imagine the last trial will be something that only a person with your special ability will be able to complete. Wait, what did you say? We have to adopt a fat octopus dog. Well, how hard can that be? Okay, this is very hard. That was it. That's the trial. Remember to take him for walks every day. Atop your moist ocean steed, a secret gateway opens, and inside San Bakar is waiting alongside, I assume, the final bird bath. The memory shows San Bakar going to Isadora's house only to find that her father has got cataracts. Oh no! He runs back to Hogwarts to speak to Weird Hatman. Apparently Isadora has been using her power on the students and storing all the magic underneath Hogwarts, which results in the keepers being forced to hold her at wand point? It doesn't work. Weird Hatman continues to fight, but she's too strong, so Weird Fatman joins in, but she's still too strong. Eventually, San Bakar is like, abracadabra, you twat. Now we know, the keepers killed Isadora because she was knotting her students, and the location of the final repository is below Hogwarts. In the end, the keepers couldn't destroy that big ball she made and created the trials to protect it from people who'd want to use its power for evil. Anyway, you've proved yourself worthy to access it, so now you can become an all-powerful god and murder I mean, you can now protect it and stuff. That's what I meant. The magic goo you got at the end of each trial is used to craft a special wand that can break through the ancient magical barrier around the repository. But after getting the wand from the shop, you're stopped by fuckwud. Perhaps we can work together to stop Rancock from taking what is rightfully ours. Hey, listen, fuckwud, it's Rookwood. I don't want help from a guy who wears top hats. You don't understand, do you? That repository is Rookwood's birthright. My birthright. And top hats are cool. It's not fuckwood's birthright, it's my birthright because I can see ancient shit. It's Rookwood. You can't even see a mirror or you wouldn't have left the house like that, fuckwood. It's Rookwood! Fuckwood tries to kill you because he wants the repository for himself, but Uno reverse card. He's dead. With the special wand, the keepers open the door to the repository, and along with Fig Tree, you look for the big ball of magic until Rancock's goons arrive, and you have to fight your way through them. In the 2 minutes they've been down here, they've somehow managed to set up a full-on camp. You both are like, oh my god, how are we gonna fight through all of them? When all the professors show up like it's the final battle in Endgame. While they're busy fighting, you and Fig Tree carry on further. Remember how I said you needed a special wand to break the magical barrier to the repository? The magical barrier is 2 nights. You know, the same nights that have been cannon fodder for you for the entire game. Yeah, it was a waste of time. Finally, you reach the repository. Fig Tree asks how you intend to deal with the big ball of magic, and you're like, I intend to keep it a secret for now. I will tell those I trust in the future.
Oh, so you're not going to murder everyone and become a god? I have to admit, I was worried for a moment there.
No, don't worry. That comes later. But then Rancock appears for the final confrontation.
You twats have annoyed me for long enough.
Oh it's the angry dwarf. You're not getting the big ball, Rancock.
Well, if you won't hand it over, I guess I'll have to use this. That's my wife's wand, you short, wrinkly prick. You're wrinkly too, Granddad.
Yeah, but he's aged like fine wine. You've aged like someone left their bollocks out in the sun for too long.
Enough!
Rancock attacks you and the big ball is destroyed in the process. Not to be rude, but I've lasted longer in bed than you did at protecting the big ball, and that's saying something. Things are made even worse when Rancock liquefies with the magic and turns into a big, red, gooey dragon, and Fig Tree gets crushed by a rock, I think. Overall, not a very good situation. Using your exceptional magic ability, you fight with Dragon Cock. It's a shame that with all that magical power, he hasn't found a way to defeat the roly-poly. This ends up being his demise and you kill him, but the damage has been done. The cave is collapsing. You're trying to stop it, but it's not enough. Then someone helps you. It's Fig Tree. He's still alive. He's like,
you need to contain this magic.
But how? I'm not strong enough.
If I die, will that give you enough character development to power up?
I don't know. Probably.
Okay, then.
Fig Tree, no! Fig Tree, you good?
No, I think I'm dying. Listen, I need to tell you something.
What is it?
I, too, had an obsession with Professor Garlic.
I get that he just died and it's very emotional, but he's still breathing, look. With the imminent threat of Rancock dealt with and the magic contained, you raise a glass to Fig Tree being dead as fuck, and yeah, I know we didn't uncurse Sebastian's sister and Natsai has disappeared off the face of the earth, but that's the end of the main story, so you can go away now.